Hey, Trey here with the Louisiana Kayak Fishing Forecast channel. If you're in our Facebook group, you do not need to watch this video. This is just a quick location report for anglers who are not in the group. So group members, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. If you're in that group, you're already gonna be getting better information than this, okay? This is just something quick for them to help them out, keep them away from the bad locations, all right? Just trying to help everybody here. So members, you can head over to the Facebook group and check out this week's forecast if you haven't already, because it has been posted. Now, for the rest of you who are still here and not in our group, today is the first installment here on YouTube of what I call the DUD Report. DUD is spelled D-U-D, and that is an acronym for Don't You Dare, as in don't you dare fish these locations. The locations that I am going to list are locations where you will have terrible experiences. You will be out on the water. You might only catch a couple small fish. It'll be fish you can't really keep. If you catch a fish that you can keep, consider yourself lucky. And a lot of times, I know how anglers are. You catch one fish and you're like, by the end of the day, you're like, I don't even feel like going through the trouble of cleaning this fish. So I come here, or I am going to be coming here every Friday posting this video so that it keeps you out of those kinds of locations. I don't want you wasting your time, money, gas, whatever. It's nothing really in it for me. It's just something that I want to do. So if you're not interested in joining the group, you can come here every week and catch this report. It'll help you plan your trips better by keeping you out of those locations. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it. What I've done for our forecast is I've split the entire coastline of Louisiana into 3 regions. There's the eastern region, the central region, and the western region. Now, the eastern region is what I'm going to start with. This is areas which are from Venice, Louisiana, up to Lake Pontchartrain, and east to the Mississippi state line. So this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, in this region, there's only one place where you shouldn't really be fishing. There are some places, some locations that aren't as good, but as our best locations. The best locations are found in that forecast, but there are some locations that aren't all that good. But this report details the places where you will definitely not catch fish, where you will definitely waste your time and everything else. You know, your day will just be shot. So for the eastern region, like I said, this is going to be Lake Pontchartrain, but a specific part of Lake Pontchartrain. It's going to be the northern shoreline of Lake Pontchartrain, and that's a really large area you do not want to be fishing this weekend. Up on the north shore, the northern shoreline of the lake, there are some rivers that empty into the lake, and these rivers have made the areas around them really fresh. So the salinity values are really low, and that means the fish in the lake won't provide a good bite this weekend. So stay out of there. So now we're going to move over into the central region. Central region is from Houma over to Grand Isle, or actually Port Fourchon. Some people don't really know where Port Fourchon is, anglers who haven't really spent much time on the coast. So I say Grand Isle because a lot of people know Grand Isle. All right, so Houma to Grand Isle, and then north to cut off Louisiana. That is the central region. In the central region, there are 4 locations that will fish poor this weekend. These locations are different than locations in the other 2 regions, and that's because the following locations have large pockets where the bite will be non-existent, but there are areas outside of those pockets that'll still be okay. In the central region, I'm not really going to get into the locations that are going to be okay, because that kind of detail, it just takes up too much time, and I'm trying to make this quick. I've already done that in the forecast, so if you were thinking about fishing these areas, then to get that info, you would have to join the group. But the 4 locations, the first one is Cut Off, Louisiana. The second is Galliano. The third is Golden Meadow. And the 4th location is Cocodrie. So all of these locations will have areas of very poor fishing because of freshwater runoff. With freshwater runoff, saltwater fish are turned off or pushed out of an area. So like I said, a complete, very detailed reasoning was and is always included in the Louisiana fishing forecast. which is, like I said, delivered to that Facebook group and the members there. So we're going to move on to the third and final region. That is the western region. The western region is from Pecan Island, Louisiana, to the Texas state line and north to Lake Charles. So this includes Lake Calcasieu, or better known as Big Lake. In the western region, Lake Charles and Preen Lake are the two locations with terrible water conditions this weekend. Avoid these two locations for sure. They have been on this list for weeks. So if you have fished these areas, I would say within the last 2 months, and you've just bombed, you haven't had any luck, you've wasted your time and you felt bad, maybe you haven't even been back out on the water because of this. I know you didn't catch fish because of what's going on there. Up in that area is another area that is very fresh, but there have also been some tides over the last 2 months that have negatively affected those days. So I hope that you weren't out there on one of those days where the tide was terrible and the water was fresh, because that definitely was not going to let you catch fish. But anglers with access to our full fishing forecast haven't pointed their vehicles in that direction for, like I said, probably at least 2 months, because it's been really bad. But that is all actually for this week. Just trying to make this report very short and sweet and keep you out of those areas. If you wanted to know where the best weekend locations will be, you need to join our Facebook group, because I tell the members exactly where they need to be. In that group, I provide the best locations all along the coast. I tell them also the time of day that they need to be there to be amongst feeding fish, because you can have the location right and the day right, but be where you need to be when these fish are not feeding, and it'll seem like you're in the wrong place. So with the full forecast, you'll know exactly where to stay away from and why. You'll be able to choose between the best locations to fish each weekend. You'll know which times the fish will be feeding in these areas, and other info like how you should fish these locations. So to join the group and to gain access to the Louisiana Kayak Fishing Forecast, visit lkffgroup.com. All right, so like I said, subscribe to the channel and head over to that web address if you're interested in joining the group. And I will see you guys next Friday. You guys have a good weekend.